Morning guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, as you can see by the title, I'm going to take you through my little tips on training chest and structuring your training session. But I'm going to do that at the end of the video, so you have to wait for that. I'll take you through a whole chest workout today, which I'm training this morning. It's Monday today, so we had a rest day yesterday. Untracked meal yesterday as well, so going to feel nice and pumped today. Always get a good all-round pump in today's session, just because it's such a, I'm not going to talk too much about the session, but it's just it just works for me and what I need in terms of getting stuff out for a chest session. Hits all the areas, and you know is enough work to do damage. So just cut meals for tomorrow. Made my intro workout, 75 gram of carbs, which is what we're on at the moment. Intro workout, espresso is down, and yeah, the normal routine.
Here we are then, chest and abs done. Coming to you from the car on the way home. Let's get post-workout meal. So just thought I'd talk through what I wanted to talk through now instead of doing it in standstill. So like I said, structuring your chest sessions, the importance of structuring a good chest session, or any session really, is important. I think there's key areas that we need to hit in terms of chest, and I think the two things that you need to be thinking about is pressing, is your main presses, obviously, and accessory presses, and fly movements. That in terms of chest for me, if I was to structure a plan, and what we're currently doing at the moment is how we're going about it. Presses, flies, hitting them with different movements. I think I'm doing at the moment 2 for each one. And I really like what we're doing at the moment with how Luke has structured my chest session, which is kind of doing a main press, then a fly, then a main press, and then a fly, which we ran for the last 2 months, I think, maybe more. That was really good, really enjoyed that session. I know it probably sounds like, what, you're only doing 4 movements for chest? Yeah, we are. Which I think is actually enough, as long as you're putting the intensity into each set and each movement. I think that is enough to get away with. I don't think you really need to be doing more than that. Obviously you can do more than that if you want, but I think if you're giving every single set 100%, that is all you need in terms of breaking down muscle tissue and being able to recover from it. So main presses, I think you should definitely have an incline. I think flat barbell or any flat machine work is kind of, it's counterproductive. I feel like there's more risk to reward doing those kind of movements where you're doing it from the flat position. I know some people like doing barbell bench press on the flat, and they grow from that, which I know James Hollingshead is a big advocate of that, because that's what he grew up doing, that's what he loves doing, that's what he loves training, and he's seen them grow from that. He feels most comfortable doing that that movement machine. And I think personally I prefer the incline stuff. I think it hits the chest where we want to hit it, the upper shelf, which we want to grow most part. Majority of people, 99.9% of people, have a bigger lower part of the chest, and their upper shelf is the thing that the part that they need to develop. So I think doing incline movements is definitely got to be top priority where you're structuring your chest session. So for me, an incline Smith machine press, brilliant movement, which we utilised last off season, and I saw massive benefits from doing that. You can work up to very heavy. You can use you can do it reverse banded, which is always good. Take some stress off the joints and the hole when you're coming down in your elbows. It's taking a lot of the stress. The band just takes some of the tension off your elbows there, which is good. I'm using at the moment the Atlantis press, which is an incline plate loaded press, again targeting upper shelf. That's really good. So those kind of make like your main presses. I think definitely have an incline Smith or an incline barbell in there, or an incline dumbbell. For us at the gym, the dumbbells only go up to 50 kilo, so I can't really progress on that. I'd have to be doing sets of 20 on the incline dumbbells, which really we need to be going heavier than that. So we switched over to the plate loaded or Smith machine, like I said. But if you've got heavier dumbbells, use dumbbells and just do a high incline press. Then flies, you can do, definitely for me is probably the best one is probably the pec deck, pin loaded. Sorry, fucking hell. People driving in the morning. I think the road's all about them. Where was I? Flies. Pin loaded pec deck is what I'm using at the moment, which is really good. Great, get a good stretch and obviously good contraction. It just opens up that chest after doing your main presses for the day. And then moving into your next press, it's probably going to be like a pin loaded chest press. It could be incline, it could be like you're sitting upright. Could be one of those, targeting, using different hand grips as well, so you either supinated or pronated. I think it's right. No, neutral or a pronated grip. If you've got those machines in your gym, just something different than your normal grip on a Smith machine, which is going to be a normal barbell grip. And then another fly, which could be a cable crossover. Obviously you can do cable crossovers a number of different ways, and different solutions, so just find one that fits perfect with you, that you're comfortable with, and that you can do the movement best, and you find the most benefit from. Obviously you're going to be doing this session for a number of weeks and months to see any sort of benefit from it, so don't pick a session and go at it for about 4 weeks and then switch it up. There's really no point in that. You're not going to see any benefit from it. You'll start to get strong on some movements and then you're switching out for different movements. Don't do that. Pick a session, pick a structure, pick some ranges, and stick to that for as long as you can. As long as once you start to fatigue on those movements, you start to not progress and don't see any progression come from it, then you stop. Then you think about changing up the movement slightly or switching it for something else. That's kind of like the only way and the only time you should switch up movements or change a plan. There's no point doing something for 4 weeks and then change it up, because then you're just starting over again and you're not really progressing in any sort of way, shape or form. So that's kind of chest done in terms of that. You could really, that's kind of it. That's where you want to structure your chest session around. Presses and flies, that's pretty much it. Obviously there's a lot of different movements you can do. I've just mentioned what I'm currently doing at the moment, and something you could incorporate and try and work out into your session as well. What else? I mean, that's it really for chest. We can talk about sets and reps. I mean, you're looking at, if you're in this growing phase and you're wanting to pack on tissue, I like the top set, back off set kind of scenario, where you're maybe doing 1 or 2 top sets and 1 back off set. Start with that kind of throughout the whole session. Obviously, like with flies and stuff, it's quite good to do a 3 basic set of 10 to 12. I like to do that with flies and stuff. That's how it's structured in my plan at the moment. I think we got the cable crossovers of 3 sets of 10 to 12, which is good, just repetitions. And then, the top set, back off set, you want to be doing like 6 to 9, 6 to 10s on your top sets, and back off set, you're looking at 10 to 14s. That's kind of what works and what will work for you, I think, in terms of getting hitting both ends of the stick with strength work, and then they're both hypertrophy work, but a lot of your strength work is going to come from that. So that's kind of how I would structure your chest session. Obviously, if you're doing triceps after, hit a few triceps movements after. For me, I'm doing abs after my chest session. So I'm doing 3 sets of crunches, 3 sets of leg raises, and that's it. That's all I do for abs this in a week, which I found has really been beneficial, and really see the abs starting to pop out a bit more, which is good. So yeah, I think we'll finish there. I've just spoken for 10 minutes, which is enough outro and enough information, I think, that you can take on board and take away and try. But like I said, I think the main thing that you can probably take from that: presses, flies, structure it around that. Maybe you could do a press fly, or you could do both presses together and your flies afterwards. Obviously you can add a few movements here and there, mix them in. If you want to add more movements, you can, but I think if you're giving everything to your sets, your form's spot on, you're using the right weight, as in it's heavy enough for that set, I think you can get away with doing 2 presses and 2 flies. I think in terms of recovery, that's really good, because you can come back 3 to 4 sleeps later and hit again if you wanted to, in terms of like building up frequency of a session. And then the other thing that you want to take away from this is doing that session that you've chosen for a very, very long period of time, and only switching movements up when you start to fail and you start to not progress on them, and you can't find ways of progressing on them, and you get stuck and you start to plateau on movements. That's the only reason why you should start to switch it up and find something else. Okay. So yeah, we'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed today's session and my little tips on how to structure your chest session, and hopefully you can take some of that information away, go back, add it to your session, and go off that. So something I want to add to the end as well, I'm still taking there's still spaces on my online coaching, so if anyone wants to jump on for a call, a chat with me, we can chat about training, nutrition, and your goals that you want to achieve, see where you're at, and then hopefully from that call we can kind of see if we can work together on something, see if I can help you towards that goal of yours. You know, you don't have to be someone who is very, very serious about bodybuilding like myself. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be just someone who wants to get into the gym. You know, I've worked with people who I've really just only trained, you know, for 1 or 2 weeks and want to learn the basics and want to learn how to structure a nutrition plan, learn how to do certain movements, you know, take them through a certain phase of training, whether that's to pack on tissue, whether that's to diet down, anything. Hopefully I can help you out as best I can. So feel free to go onto my Instagram, which is henry.taylor. In my link that is on my bio, you'll find an application form. Fill that out. That will get sent over to me, and I'll get back to you in terms of setting up a call. We'll jump on a call, discuss, like I just said, your background, your training, nutrition, and your goals that you want to achieve, what you want from the coaching, and then we'll get into the plans and then go from there. So feel free to message me on here if you want to comment below with the title coaching. I will get back to you on that. If not, Instagram is probably the main place you're going to find me or be able to contact me on. So yeah, we'll leave it there. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you took something away from this, and we'll see you on the next one.